One thing that I told my family is that I didn't want to be married, I didn't want to have children. And people say that's selfish of me. But I knew that I didn't want to take care of anybody else but me. But I also knew that there were dreams that I had that had not materialized in my life. And I felt that if I married and had children, those things would not happen. Again, people say that's selfish of me. But because I know me, I thank God that I knew me well enough that I could care less what people think or say.
Amen.
I learned a long time ago not to get stuck because of people's words. I learned how not to get stuck because you think that I need to do a certain thing when I know what the Lord has told me about me.
Amen.
And I don't apologize. And I won't apologize. So when you know God has spoken to you, when you know God has directed you, when you know God has taken you somewhere, go the course. What you'll find out in that course is that you don't know everything that's going to happen. But trust Him that in that flow, you're just floating down the river. But He's the life raft that you will have on you, that as you float, you won't go under. The rapids might get rough. And if you do go under, the life jacket of Jesus will bring you back up. I promise you. It will bring you back up to surface to float some more. But trust God. Trust Him in your life completely, totally, all the way. Regardless of what comes up, trust God. Their lives depend on it. Because they're depending on you. Give God everything you got. That you don't, give that to Him too. And watch Him prove Himself to you over and over and over. I promise you. He's not going to leave you. He's not going to forsake you. He's not going to forget about you. He is going to always have you on His mind. You will forever be in the forefront of His mind because He loves you just that much. Let nothing, let nobody, man, woman, cat, dog, rat, don't let it get in your way. Because where you are right now is a pivotal moment for the rest of your life. Because God wants to take you somewhere. He'll keep you longer than you ever want to be kept. You want to be kept by Him forever. Give it to Jesus. Maybe you let go of everything and just go with God. Go all the way with God.
All the way.
Go all the way.
All the way.
One thing that I saw you do, you wanted to scream like crazy, but she was in your way. Let her go, baby. She will be just fine. She'll just cry and her lungs get better. She might be a singer. But let that happen and get your freedom and your breakthrough. Let God do what He wants to do, baby. But you're holding on to something that is nothing to hold on to. What you need to be holding on is Jesus. And I promise you, when you grab hold and hold on Him, baby, He'll rock you. Even in those hours and the times to where you feel like you're by yourself and you're alone, you're never. I have moments in time where I do feel like I'm by myself. But I thank God those are fleeting moments. They pass very quickly. Very quickly. And I go on to doing what I know that I need to do. Because I don't have time to be hindered. I don't have time to be hindered. Whatever the dream that you have, whoever you want to be, trust me, God will make it happen for you. wanted to be a doctor. From the age of 5, I wanted to be a doctor. And I'm going to get in the word. I'm going to try my best. I wanted to be a doctor. I went to college with the mindset of being a doctor. And one of my professors asked me, Bernard, who told you you had to be a doctor? And I got offended. Because I told her, I told myself. And that was enough for me. I didn't get into medical school. I got on a waiting list. I continued to get on a waiting list. And I got upset and mad. And I remember my grandmother telling me, she says, don't give up. And I never really raised my voice at my grandmother at that time. I said, Grandma, who are you to tell me don't? You don't know what it is to be rejected. Each time you submit this application is hurtful. But what I did, they said, well, you need to do something with your grades. Okay. So I decided I got a master's. And what I was looking to get a master's in was in public health, but I could never find the information. So I ended up just getting an MBA with a healthcare management concentration. And I remember a lady telling me, you will never make 6 figures with that. I told her, what? I happily sit in my office and tell my doctors what to do. Happily. So I didn't become a physician. I still will be a doctor. When I finish my PhD, you still will call me Dr. Davis. I'm okay with that. But I get to get up out of my chair, go home, do whatever I want to do, while my doctors have got to stay in the clinic and see the patients. So though it doesn't happen the way you dream it, his dream is bigger than your dream. But it will happen. I promise you. It'll happen. But all you got to do is believe in God. And that's not just for him. That's not just for him. It's for you too. You too. I promise you. I promise you God will. And I'm the product of the two of them who never attended college, who sold drugs, who was a teen mother. But by God's grace. So that's why I started out to tell you, this wasn't always this. But by God's grace. Turn to John chapter 10. I'm going to move quickly. Or try to. We're going to do chapter 10, verse 7 through 11. When you get it, say amen. Then Jesus said to them again, most assuredly I say to you, I am the door of the sheep. All who ever come before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. If anyone enters by, he will be saved and will go in and out and find pasture. The thief does not come except to steal and to kill and to destroy. I have come that you may have life and that they may have it more abundantly. And I want to focus on, I have come that they may have life and that they may have it more abundantly. My topic is in the process of progression. Any time that you are going to progress or go, knowing it is a process. If you're going to go anywhere and do anything, it is a process. And the end result of your process is progression. And actually, progression is happening all the way through the process. The purpose for Jesus was to exemplify the need to be prepared, to endure, and to mature. His life is an example of how believers are to remain in the process while experiencing progress. Turn to Luke chapter 2. In your process of progression, there are three things that you are going to experience. Those three things are you're going to learn preparation. You're going to learn how to endure, and you are going to mature. Preparation, endurance, and maturity. Luke chapter 2. And so when the Lord gave me this, I was like, well, how do I share this? How do I minister this? How do I deliver this? And what the Lord did, He dropped in my spirit His very life. Luke chapter 2, verse 42 through 52. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem according to the custom of the feast. When they had finished the days as they returned, the boy Jesus lingered behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother did not know it. But supposing him to have been in the company, they went a day's journey and sought him among their relatives and acquaintances. So when they did find him, they returned to Jerusalem seeking him. Now so it was that after 3 days that they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the teachers, both listening to them and asking them questions. And all who had heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. So when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said to him, "Son, why have you done this to us? Look, your father and I have sought you anxiously." And he said to them, "Why did you seek me? Did you not know that I must be about my father's business?" But they did not understand the statement which he spoke to them. Then he went down with them and came to Nazareth and was subject to them. But his mother kept all these things in her heart. And Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and in the favor with God and men. In Jesus' preparation, what happened was when Jesus was born, he was born of parents who had to teach him the way of God, who had to teach him how to do, much like you have to teach your own children what to do, how to make up the bed, how to wash their face, how to put on clothes, how to tie shoes. All the things that you do for your child, his parents did the same thing for him. But as a Jewish custom, at the age of 12, he was supposed to go in and he would meet with the rulers and the physicians because he was coming of age of his manhood. So I said, so was this Jesus' bar mitzvah? Yeah. Was this Jesus' bar mitzvah? And so in Judaism, that's what they do with 13-year-old young men, but 12-year-old young ladies. And so, because Jesus was 12, it really wasn't known as a bar mitzvah at that time. However, in their custom later on, it became just that, but beginning at the age of 13. However, Jesus being 12 years old and what he was doing, they were sitting there having a conversation with him about what his parents had taught him. And did he understand the customs of the culture, and also was he healthy, mentally, physically, and emotionally? This is what they were assessing. However, they were astonished at the fact that Jesus was well rooted and grounded and was wise. So as they began to talk to Jesus and ask Jesus questions, Jesus then began to talk to them and ask them questions. And as he began to do that, what ended up happening in my mind is that revelation knowledge began to form. So what ends up happening, our parents can teach us all these wonderful things, but then what the Holy Ghost then comes in and adds the revelation knowledge to it. That's the revealer. That's the understanding. And that's what began to happen for Jesus. However, his parents, in the naturalness of them, the human side of them, got caught up. And they went on about their business because they thought Jesus was with them. And they had gone a day's journey and realized that their child was not with them. A day's journey and your child is not with you. I think my parents probably appreciated that at that age for me because they were saying we talk too much anyway. We're all right that we got peace and quiet. Then they got to missing me. But they missed Jesus. As they missed Jesus, they got to searching frantically. And I can imagine a mother, because not knowing where your child is, not knowing if your child is safe. Bless you, baby. Not really, because you know how we are. Those of us who have cars, when you misplace your keys, you tear up the house. Because you have something on your mind that you need to do and you need those keys because you got to go. Well, not being able to find your child is even more frantic, I'm sure. Did something happen? Did somebody hurt him? What are all these things? What could have taken place? And so they were trying to retrace all their steps to find their child. And to find him safely in the temple. Talking to the rulers. Talking to the doctors. Talking to the rulers of that time. Right. And finding out that he's safe. But even in his safety, there's knowledge and wisdom that's being imparted in them and him. And so, after his parents got there, they're like, Jesus, what was going on? Why did you do this? And Jesus' response, he was about his father's business, could have been taken as disrespectful. It could have been taken as disrespectful because as a parent, what you would have expected was, I apologize. But he didn't apologize. Jesus was saying, what do you expect of me? My time is coming. Again, revealing. And how could his mother yet forget that she was not known of man, but yet to be pregnant with a child, and to be informed who this child was? Hence the reason she kept it in her mind and pondered in her heart what he was saying. It's well worth it to listen to your children. It's well worth it to hear your children. Because what ends up happening sometimes, there is something that's being said that is going to be necessary. May not be necessary right then, but hold it in your heart because it might be necessary a little bit later. And I see children talking to parents, and I see parents talking. Hey, I'm only delivering the message, okay? I'm only delivering the message. God ain't told me nobody's business. I'm just delivering the message. So, y'all got real quiet and real tense, and then people got to look. God bless you. Ooh, I get some nerves there. Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. So, it's well worth it. Pay attention. You might learn something, and something might be revealed. Because what also ends up happening is that it also is a good point, because what ends up happening, it also shows what she did. She taught him the way. She taught him the word. His dad taught him the way in the Word. And so don't be surprised when your children begin to have revelation knowledge about things that the Lord has spoken to them. Because you have been a part of imparting the Word in them. It shouldn't be anything astonishing to you if you were teaching them the right way.
Amen.
So that's the preparation piece of this. Let's go to Matthew chapter 27. And let me tell you something about preparation. Preparation will also cause you to spend some time digging and understanding the history of things. It's well worth it to know the history so that you won't revisit the sins of the forefathers. Matthew chapter 27, verses 32 through 56, and I'm not going to read all those, so just say it. When you get it, say amen.
Amen.
Now as they come out, they found the man of Cyprian, Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross. And when they had come to a place called Golgotha, that is to say, place of the skull, they gave him sour wine mingled with all gall to drink. But when he had tasted it, he would not drink. Then they crucified him and divided his garments, casting lots that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet. They divided my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lots. Sitting down, they kept watch over him there, and they put up over his head the accusation written against him, "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." Then two robbers were crucified with him, one on the right and the other on the left. And those who passed by blasphemed him, wagging their heads and saying, "You who destroy the temple and build it in 3 days, save yourself. If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross." Likewise, the chief priest also mocked with the scribes and elders, said, "He saved others himself, he cannot save. If he is the King of Israel, let him now come down from the cross, and we will believe him. He trusted in God. Let him deliver him now, if he will have him. For he said, I am the Son of God." Even the robbers who were crucified with him reviled him with the same thing. Now from the 6th hour unto the 9th hour there was darkness over all the land. At about the 9th hour Jesus cried out with a loud voice, saying, "Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani." That is, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Jesus endured mockery. Jesus endured torture. So much so that they took a crown of thorns and did not place it on his head, but they jabbed it down on his head. They pulled Jesus' hair from his beard. And any man in here that has a beard or facial hair, if it grows for any length and you pull it, it absolutely hurts. Much like you women, when somebody pulls your hair, it hurts. But think about them pulling it out from his face bit by bit and not being gentle. Crucifying him and ripping his garments only to sell to laugh about it. Can you imagine the very people that you helped, fed, clothed, ensured that they have, and they're mocking you, saying, well, you said all these things, so why can't you call the angels to come and get you down? Even the religious leaders mocking him. Could you ever endure such a public spectacle? We become ashamed about things that people don't know about. So can you imagine being naked on the cross for everybody to see? We don't even want to go around the house naked. So more or less be before people naked. Because to us it's shameful. But they shamed the man because of pure hatred. Pure hatred. And he had to endure the hatred. He had to endure it for us. And the human side of him kicked in, not because of the pain, but because his father got dark. That's why he asked the question, my God, why have you forsaken me? He felt as if his father had turned his back on him. But he knew the reason as to why he had to do this. There's a purpose as to why we have to go through things. You are going to endure some hardship as a soldier. You heard Pastor when he said, say yes. And that is wonderful. Say yes. But let me also tell you that when you say yes, don't think when you walk out this door that every day is going to be a glossy good day. Your yes has now triggered offenses to come your way. It has now triggered things that are going to happen for the sake of Jesus in your life. It has now triggered some things that you are going to have to learn how to endure. Every day is not a day we get to skip through the tulips. But every day also is not a bad day. But what I will say, even in the times that I don't get to skip through the tulips, once I get through the tulips, once I get the day to skip, I thank God for the day that I did. Because I learned that it was well worth it to go through the challenge. Also, every challenge that you go through is not for you. Some things you need to go through so you can help somebody else understand what it is to get through. Some stuff is a testimony. Some stuff is for you to go through so you can thank God that I've been through it. Because it gives you space to lift your hands and say, God, I thank you. I got some strength about myself. I'm not a weakling. I'm not afraid anymore. I don't have to wait on anybody else. All I have to do is call on you, depend on you, and me and you together, we got it. Going through things will teach you how to grow up. Teach you how to stand up. One thing that I have a problem with sometimes with Christians, we're some weak folk. I don't take kind to that. Really, I don't. I don't take kind to letting people trample over me. You won't say just anything to me. And you won't do just anything to me. As saved and sanctified as I am? Oh, no. Now, I'm going to tell y'all laughing, but I mean what I say. I mean it. If we got the rumble, we got the rumble. But you going to know that I've been there. I'm trying to tell you now. I'm trying to tell you. This thing ain't for the weak. It ain't for the faint heart. Now, Pastor over there grinning and smiling, but you push it. Try it if you want to. It won't be a nice outcome. I'm just telling you. I'm just going to tell you. Folk think Christians are supposed to bow down and you walk over them and just say anything to them. No. Now, I do everything I can not to cuss you out. But that don't mean it ain't in my mind. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. It might be in the forefront. And I'm trying my best to keep it where it is so it don't come out. Y'all pray for me. Pray for me in this spare time. But the enemy will try you. The enemy will try you. But you need to be equipped as a saint of God to learn how to overcome. And you can tell from now, listen, I'm real close. You might not want to push too hard. Because you might push me over. And I'm going to pray for you afterwards. But right now, God bless you. God bless you. But you're going to have to endure. You're going to have to learn how to endure. You got to learn how to endure. Don't just sit down and cry. Because if you sit down and cry, it's not going to change the situation. It just changed your posture. You were standing up crying, so now you're sitting down crying. Nothing has changed but your posture. The situation is still the same. You're going to have to gird up your loins, and we're going to have to do something. Now, what does something look like? Lord, help me. At least I get an opportunity to make a step towards getting it right and getting it together. It's like the lepers. Now listen, do we stay here outside the city and die? Or do we go in? Well, they got chaos up in that joint. They cutting the monkey. Well, while they're doing that, we can at least eat. We can at least eat. We leave away from here on a full belly. Because you said I'm going to die. Well, die happy. So you can flip stuff and make it a positive. You can flip stuff and make it worth your while. Everything that look bad ain't bad. So it wasn't bad for Jesus to go through it. Because what it taught us is that we can endure something. It taught us that we are rocks, we can stand because we got Jesus on our side. That was the purpose of it. All right? You can withstand some stuff if you say you like Christ. So we've endured. Now, as he endured, he also matured. Turn to John 20. We're going to start at verse 11. When you get it, say amen. I hope this is helping y'all, because it's helped me. But Mary stood outside of the tomb weeping, and as she wept, she stood down and looked into the tomb and saw two angels in, while sitting, one at the head and the other at the feet, where the body of Jesus had lain. Then they said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" She said to them, "Because they have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him." Now when she had said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, and did not know that it was Jesus. "Woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you seeking?" She supposing him to be the gardener, said to him, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned and said to him, "Rabboni," which is to say, teacher. Jesus said to her, "Do not cling to me, for I have not yet ascended to my Father, but go to my brethren and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, and to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene came and told the disciples that she had seen the Lord, and that he had spoken these things to her. Isn't it interesting? In the maturity of Christ, and the reason why I say the maturity is that Mary was unable to recognize him. Even though he had not ascended yet, he didn't look like the person that she had come to know. When you mature, when you grow up, when you go through something, you don't look like the person you were before you went through it.
Amen. That's right.
Because now you got some experience under your belt. You don't fall for every little thing like you used to. Oh, that joker come around, baby. I know better than what I did the last time. I'm ready for you this time. I won't fall for the okie doke. I'm ready. Bring it on. So anytime somebody says something to you, you've rejected. Because you've been prepared, you've endured some things, and now you've matured.
Right.
And he said to her, he gave her some instructions. This stood out to me. Don't cling to me. And I was like, don't cling to me. What are you saying? Don't cling to me. What he was telling her, I'm not here to stay. Don't get used to it, baby. This, I gotta go. I gotta go. Don't allow people in your state of maturity to hold on to you, to pull you backwards. Don't allow people to pull you back to where you were, because you've already matured. You've already gone forward. Keep going forward. They can cling to the past of you, which will be the backside of you. Let them hold on, but you go on. Because there's somewhere that you're trying to get to.
Come on now. Come on.
And oftentimes we hold on to our yesterday because we remember when. We'll make some more memories. Make some new memories. Do something new. Do something different.
Amen.
In your matured state.
Amen.
And one thing that Jesus did, when he eventually saw the disciples,